Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I am here with the new lecture series of economic botany. In this series we will discuss about the economic botany, economically important plants. And today we will discuss about the cultivated plants and introduction. And in this lecture we will discuss about its historical background and what are the various branches of economic botany, then classification of crop plants and center of origins, especially the Vavilov centers of diversity. So today we will discuss about these important topics in this lecture. So let's start. The name of this chapter is cultivated plants, and in this we will discuss firstly the definition of economic botany. So what is economic botany? It is the branch of botany that deals with the commercial exploitation of plants by people. So how we exploit or how we use plants commercially, so that branch of botany is known as economic botany. हम plants को कैसे use करते हैं commercially and how we get benefit of the plants, so that branch of botany is known as economic botany. And the scientist who studies the interaction between human and plants are known as economic botanist. So ऐसे scientists जो study करते हैं interaction between humans and plants, and those are termed as economic botanists. And plants, as we know, these are the integral or important part of the human life since ages, और without plant जो humans हैं उनका existence possible नहीं है. And they serve the human beings in number of ways. बहुत सारी ways में जो plants हैं they help us, like ranging from food, we get food from plants, and clothing, shelter, and then we get various important medicines, food, adjuncts, beverages, and other necessities from plants. So plants are integral parts of our life. So need a plant, especially they produce important component of life, that is oxygen. Then we get food from the plants, firewood, clothes, furniture, paper, medicine, shelter, etc. In addition to this, we got some other important products from plants also. Next comes historical background. So human species, that Homo sapiens, are known to exist on Earth for about 250,000 years back. And I will not go into the detail of evolution, human evolution. Next, agriculture arose independently in different areas of the world about 11,500 years ago. So this is the approximation date. And there are various sources which gives this information that this agriculture is the very old practice. Next, the transition from foraging. Foraging is the act of gathering wild food for free. So the transition from this practice to agriculture might be as a result of gradual observation by primitive societies. So careful observation of various societies that leads to domestication of wild plants to domestic plants. And the Fertile Crescent in southwestern Asia, which today includes the part of Iran, Iraq, Turkey, Syria, Lebanon, and Israel, is one of the oldest sites of agriculture. So जो Fertile Crescent है that we can see in this map, so ये जो countries हैं like Iran, Iraq, Turkey, Syria, Lebanon, and Israel, these are one of the oldest sites of agriculture in the world. So this is the brief historical background regarding this economic botany. Next comes plant biodiversity. There are approximately 352,000 species of flowering plants, or we can say angiosperms. Angiosperms are the plants which are vessel bearing. Angios means vessel, sperm means seeds. So especially these plants bear seeds, and these are flowering plants. There are approximately 352,000 species of flowering plants. Next is gymnosperms. So there are approximately 1,100 species of gymnosperms. Gymnos means naked, sperm means seeds. So these plant produces seeds which are naked. Next group of plant is pteridophytes. It includes approximately 13,000 species. Next, bryophytes. There are approximately 20,000 species of bryophyte. Next are fungi. It is also a very diverse group of organisms. It includes 99,000 species. worldwide. Next are algae. It includes 72,500 species in the world. So this is the brief information regarding plant biodiversity, and there are various latest discoveries which leads to increase in the number of species in various groups of these plants. Next comes human dependency on plants. So the very existence of man and all the animal is dependent on plants. And the three most important necessities of human beings are food, clothing, and shelters. In Hindi, we call it as roti, kapada, or makan. So these are the three basic necessities that are required for human existence. And the dependence is not only for food, clothes, and shelter. So humans are not dependent on plants only for food, clothes, and shelter, but also is for medicines and other applied areas. So plants are excellent source of medicines which are used to treat various human ailments. No doubt there are various advancements of science and technology that has given a number of synthetic replacements for plants and plant products, but plant still occupies a very important position in man's life. We can't replace plants totally from human lives. Next, this slide shows the various uses of plants for humans. Firstly, food. So plants are important source of food for humans. It includes cereals like rice, wheat, maize, millets, and pulses like gram, pea, common bean, mung bean, etc., and oil seeds like mustard, groundnut, sunflower, hemp seed, etc. And so these are the source of carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. In addition to this, plants also provide green vegetables and fruits which are necessary for the mineral requirement of minerals and vitamin requirement of humans. Next, clothing. Primitive man used to wear the animal skins, but with the course of time, he recognized the importance of plant fibers like cotton and jute. They are also used to making cloths. Then we have next plants are used to make shelters like bamboos were the first plants to be used for the shelter. Later, timber fibers of jute, coconut, hemp, etc. These are thus used as supplementary tools to construct houses. Next, medicine. As we know that plants are mentioned in various literatures like Rig Veda, Atharva Veda, which are very primitive literatures, and many herbal drugs have been described in our ancient medicinal literature like Chark Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, and many other Ayurvedic texts. So these include the importance of plants, which are the source of important medicines. And then there was a Greek philosophers like Aristotle and Theophrastus, who also highlighted the importance of medicinal plants. And popularity of Ayurveda is increasing day by day, that we already know. The next, the plants are source of important food adjuncts which are used to enhance the taste and flavor of our food, like ginger, turmeric, cloves, cinnamon, black pepper, cardamom, fenugreek, etc. So these are used to enhance the taste, flavor, and appetite. Next, plants are source of various beverages also. So the non-alcoholic beverages like tea and coffee have become the part of our daily routine, and the fermented products like barley, beer, grapes, which are used to make wines, then spirit distilled from fruits, brandy, etc. So these are also the plant products which are used by humans for intoxication. Next, we have various forest products. Forests provide a number of different products which are needed in our daily life. These provide us fuel wood, gums, resin, tannins, dye, rubber, etc. Next, plants are also used for aesthetic beauty, which add aesthetic value. So beside fulfilling our basic needs, plants also provide aesthetic satisfaction to us through beautiful flowers and garden plants. Next, plants plays also a very important role in human survival. As we know that plants produces oxygen, and plant utilizes carbon dioxide and release oxygen as a byproduct of photosynthesis. This is necessary for the maintenance of life on Earth. So these are the various uses of plants in human life. Next comes branches of economic botany. So firstly, agriculture. Agriculture is the science and practice of cultivating the soil, producing crops like cereals, pulses, millets, oilseeds, sugar crops, fibers crops, etc. So this is the science and practice of cultivating the soil and producing crops. Next comes horticulture. Horticulture is the cultivation of garden, orchard or nursery for flower, fruits, vegetables and ornamental plants. So ये जो हॉर्टिकल्चर ब्रांच है इकोनॉमिक बॉटनी की, इसमें हम कल्टीवेट करते हैं ऑर्चर्ड्स को, गार्डन्स को, नर्सरीज को फॉर द फ्लावर्स, फ्रूट्स, वेजिटेबल्स एंड ऑर्नामेंटल प्लांट्स. So this branch of economic botany is known as horticulture. Next comes forestry. It is the science of planting and taking care of trees and forests for timber, rubber, gums, resins, etc. So that branch of economic botany is known as forestry. So जिसमें हम टिम्बर वुड के जो प्रोड्यूस करते हैं प्लांट ट्रीज़, उनकी कल्टीवेशन करते हैं, उन्हें प्रोटेक्शन प्रोवाइड करते हैं और उनके मेंटेनेंस करते हैं फॉर वेरियस अदर फॉरेस्ट प्रोडक्ट्स लाइक फायरवुड, टिम्बर, wood, rubber, gums, etc. So that branch is known as forestry. The next branch of economic botany is plant breeding. In this branch, we improve and produce various plant varieties with improved characteristics and high yields. So scientific way है एक improve करने की plants को, जिससे कि हम yield को enhance करते हैं और साथ में disease resistance भी enhance करते हैं. So that branch is known as plant breeding. So this branch is known as plant breeding. Next is pharmacognosy. In this branch of economic botany, it deals with the studies on medicinal plants, including drug development. So ऐसे plants की studies जिसमें जो medicines produce करते हैं. So that branch of economic botany is known as pharmacognosy. Next is plant pathology. It deals with the study of diseases of crop plants, including their control measures. So how we can observe the plants, diseased plants, and how we can control these diseases. That branch is known as plant pathology. Next, we have classification of plants. So we classify plants on the basis of growing seasons. Firstly, we have Kharif, rainy season or monsoon crops. These are the crops which are grown in monsoon month from June to October. For example, we have maize, rice, cotton, jowar, bajra. So ये जो crops हैं, these comes under this Kharif crop or rainy season or monsoon crops. Like we have paddy, soybean, pigeon pea, cotton, peas, green gram, and maize. So these crops are known as Kharif crops or rainy season crops. Next we have Rabi crops or winter or cold season crops. So these are the crops which are grown in winter season from October to March. So ये जो crops हैं ये grown की जाती है in winter season from October to March. For example, we have wheat, gram, sunflower, etc. So this is the photograph which shows the Rabi crop plants, like we have wheat, grams, peas, we have then we have this mustard, linseed. So these are the crops which are grown under this winter season, and these are known as Rabi crops. Next comes the summer or Zaid crops. They are the crops grown in summer month from March to June, and they require longer day length for flowering. So जो photo period की requirement इन plants की वो ज़्यादा होती है. They require longer length for flowering, and these plants are like watermelon, pumpkin, gourds, etc. So ये जो plants हैं, these are known as summer crop or Zaid crops. Next, classification of plants on the basis of their use. First, grain crops. They are the cultivated grasses, member of family Poaceae, which are grown for their edible starchy grains. And examples are rice, wheat, maize, barley, then jowar, bajra, etc. So these are some grasses which are cultivated for their edible starchy seeds. Next, we have pulses or legume crops. They are leguminous crops where seeds are used as pulses, and they are rich in proteins. जो pulses हैं, they are good source of proteins. Examples are common bean. Then we have green gram, that is mung bean, also known as Vigna radiata. Then we have black gram, Vigna mungo or Physalis mungo. Then next we have soya bean. or we have this black gram, then comes soybean. This is soybean. Then we have peas and cowpea, which is Vigna unguiculata. Next we have lentil, that is Lens culinaris. So these are some pulses, and these are the leguminous plants which are rich in proteins. Next category is vegetable crops. The part used are leaves, fruit, flowers, roots of these crops which are used as vegetables. And examples are, we have like ladyfinger, beans, then we have brinjal, tomato, spinach. This is spinach. Its botanical name is Spinacia oleracea. And we have cauliflower, that is Brassica oleracea variety botrytis. In addition to this, we have Brassica campestris, जिसके leaves use किए जाते हैं vegetables के लिए. Next we have oilseed crops. So their seeds are rich in lipids. So these are the crops whose seeds are rich in fatty acids and are used to extract vegetable oils. For example, we have soybean, and we have groundnut oil that we can see in this photograph, and the botanical name of groundnut is Arachis hypogea. Then we have mustard, that is Brassica campestris. Then we have sunflower, which is Helianthus annuus. Sunflower oil seed से निकलता है sunflower की. Then we have sesame, that is Sesamum indicum. Sesame oil commonly तिल कहा जाता है इसे. And next we have linseed. Its botanical name is Linum acetatissimum. So these are some seeds which are rich in fatty acids and they produce oils, edible vegetable oils. Next we have forage crops. So they are the crops which are used as fodder for cattle. जो cattle हैं, domestic animals हैं, उनके लिए fodder use किया जाता है. We example like clover. Then we have sorghum. Then we have elephant grass. Botanical name is Panicetum purpureum. Next is gunia grass. Botanical name is Megathyrsus maximus. This is gunia grass. Then we have berseem. This is Trifolium alexandrium. So these are some forage crops which are used as fodder for cattle. Next we have fiber crops. So these are the crops grown for fibers. जिससे हम fiber obtain करते हैं. We have crops like cotton. This is Gossypium hirsutum. Then we have jute. That is Corchorus capsularis. Then we have sun hemp. That is Crotalaria gentiana, and flax. So these are some plants which are used to extract the fibers. Next comes root crops. They are the crops where root have economic values. It means we use the root portion of the plant for the nutritional values and other purposes. We have some examples like sweet potato, and its botanical name is Ipomia batatas. It is the member of family Convolvulaceae. Next we have sugar beet. Its botanical name is Vita vulgaris. Next we have carrot, that is Dacus carota. Carota subspecies is sativus. Next we have turnip, which is Brassica rapa. So these are some plants in which we use the root system or roots for their economic values. Next we have tuber crops, in which we use the tuber. They are the crops with short, thickened underground stems, and these are known as tubers. And we have examples like potato, which is underground stem, tuber बोलते हैं इसे. Then we have yam, that is Dioscorea floribunda. They are rich in starch. So ये जो underground stem है, ये store करते हैं reserve food material in the form of starch, which is exploited by or used by humans. Next we have special sugar crops which yield sugar. These crops are the source of sugar. For example, we have sugarcane, which is the Saccharum officinarum. Then next we have sugar beet, Vita vulgaris. So these are the crops which are used for the extraction of sugar. Next we have spice crops, in which the plant parts are used to impart the flavor and to season the foods. So ऐसे plant parts जो हम use करते हैं to add some specific flavor or taste, ऐसे parts को हम बोलते हैं spices. And examples are, we have like turmeric, that is curcuma longa. Then we have ginger, that is Gingiber officinarum. Then next we have cinnamon, which is Cinnamomum zelenicum, जिसको दालचीनी कहा जाता है commonly. Then we have garlic, लहसुन, which is Allium sativum. Next we have chili, which is Capsicum annum. Next we have cumin, which is Cuminum cyminum. Next we have onion, which is Allium cepa. Then we have coriander, and next we have cardamom, which is Aliteria cardamomum. It is one of the costliest spice. And we have pepper, which is the piper nigrum, जिसे commonly कहा जाता है काली मिर्च. So these are some plant parts that we use to impart the flavor in food items. Next we have medicinal and aromatic crops. So these are the plants which are used for various medicinal purposes. It means they yield certain substances, or their parts yield certain substances, which chemical substances which are used to treat certain diseases. For example, we have aloe vera. Next we have amla, which is most commonly a medicinal use plant, that is Phyllanthus amblica, which is rich in vitamin C. Then next we have belladonna. Its botanical name is Atropa belladonna. It yields certain alkaloids which are very important for medicinal values. Next we have Rauwolfia, which is Rauwolfia serpentina. In Hindi we call it as Sarpgandha. Next we have licorice, that is Glycyrrhiza glabra. इसमें हम roots use करते हैं इस plant की, जिसे हम मुलट्ठी भी कहते हैं. Next we have peppermint, which is mint. So these are some medicinal and aromatic crops. Next classification is based on the economic importance of the plants. Firstly, we have cash crops. As the name indicates, these are the crops which are grown for earning money. So money earn करने के लिए जो crops हम grow करते हैं, these are known as cash crops. For example, we have sugar cane, cotton, that is Saccharum officinarum, and cotton, which is Gossypium hirsutum. Next we have food crops. These are the crops which are grown for food, for humans, and fodder for animals or cattle. For example, we have wheat, rice, maize, jowar, etc. Next is crop production. As we know that our increasing population is one of the biggest challenges that we are facing. So our plant breeders are working very hard to produce certain high-yielding varieties which are disease-resistant and are of superior traits. Plant breeders throughout the world have developed high-yielding varieties of crop plants with superior traits so that we can get maximum yield. This has led to increase in world production of crops over the year. So as a result of this extensive research by various plant breeders, now we are able to produce sufficient amount of crops. And the credit goes to Dr. Norman Ernest Borlaug, who is commonly known as father of Green Revolution and was also the winner of Nobel Peace Prize in 1970. He introduced the Mexican dwarf wheat varieties, which revolutionized the world wheat production. So this was the main contribution of this person, Norman Borlaug. In India, this role was played by Dr. Kombu Sambasivan Swaminathan, abbreviated as Dr. M. Swaminathan. He is Indian geneticist and father of Green Revolution in India. He introduced high-yield varieties of wheat and rice in India, which made India self-sufficient in food grain production. इन्हें हरित क्रांति का जनक कहा जाता है इंडिया में, और इनकी वजह से in 1960s or 70s we were able to produce sufficient amount of grain, food crop grains, by the hard work of M.S. Swaminathan. That's why he's considered as father of Green Revolution in India. Note, there is one fact that maize tops the list of world crop production. जो maize की production है world में सबसे ज़्यादा है, but rice is consumed by the largest population of the world. But जो consumption है cereals में, that is of rice. Rice tops this list. Rice की सबसे ज़्यादा consumption होती है throughout the world population. Next is the important topic, that is center of regions. So the crop plants originated in the specific habitats in different part of the world. So particular जो plants हैं वो particular किसी geographical area में originate हुए हैं, और उन geographical regions को कहा जाता है centers of region. So the center of region is a geographical area where a group of organisms, either domesticated or wild, first developed its distinctive properties. So ऐसा geographical area जहाँ पे group of organisms, especially we will discuss here about the cultivated plants, जहाँ पे domesticate हुए हैं या wildly grow करते थे, and they first developed its distinctive properties there. So that geographical area is known as center of origin. The concept is based on Darwin's belief in the existence of graphic centers of origin of biological species, as mentioned in his famous book Origin of Species in 1859. And this famous work of origin of cultivated plants is done by the Russian botanist and geneticist N.I. VAVILOV. So he mentioned VAVILOV's 8 centers of crop origin that we'll discuss in the next slide. BIODIVERSITY centers of diversities are, firstly we have Chinese center, which is the largest center. Second is the Indian center. Then next is Central Asiatic center, Near Eastern center, then Mediterranean center, Abyssinian center, the South Mexican and Central American center, and finally the South American center that we'll discuss one by one. Firstly, Chinese center. It is the largest independent center, सबसे बड़ा independent center है, which include mountainous regions of central western China and lowlands. जो mountainous regions हैं और lowlands दोनों को include करता है ये, and it shows a total of 136 endemic plants. Endemic plants ऐसे plants जो किसी भी और geographical area में grow नहीं करते हैं, they are totally restricted to this region. So that plants are known as endemic plants and are listed in the center. In this center, some plants that originated in the center are, we have some cereal and legumes like broom corn millet, Italian millet, Japanese barnyard millet, buckwheat, hull-less barley, soybean, velvet beans. Next we have root tuber vegetable plants like Chinese yam, radish, Chinese cabbage, onion, cucumber. Next we have fruit and nuts, which include pear, Chinese apple, peach, apricot, cherry, walnut, lychee. So these are some fruit and nuts plant जो कि grow किए हैं Chinese center of origin. Next we have sugar, drug and fiber plants. So it includes sugar cane, opium, poppy, ginseng, camphor, hemp, etc. So these are also the cultivated plants which are originated in the Chinese center of origin. Next we have Indian center. So it is divided into 2 sub-centers. Firstly we have the main center, which include Assam and Burma with a total of 117 plant species, जिसमें कि 117 species हैं which are endemic in this area, means वो यहीं पे पाई जाती हैं. And some plants that originated in this center are, we have cereals and legumes like rice, chickpea, pigeon pea, oral bean, mung bean, rice bean, cowpea, etc. Next we have vegetables and tubers like eggplant, which is brinjal, then cucumber, radish, yam. ये जो plants हैं ये यहाँ पे originate हुए हैं. Next we have fruit plants like mango, orange, tangerine, citron, tamarind. So ये जो plants हैं ये fruit plants यहाँ पे originate हुए हैं. Next we have sugar oil and fiber plants like sugar cane, coconut palm, sesame, safflower tree, cotton, oriental cotton, and jute, etc. Next we have spices, stimulants and dyes like hemp, black pepper, gum arabic, sandalwood, indigo, cinnamon, bamboo, etc. So these plants all originated in this main center of Indian center or of origin of cultivated. Next we have the second part of Indian center, that is Indo-Malayalam center. It includes Indo-China and Malay archipelago. And the plants which originated in this include the cereals and legumes like job steer, velvet bean, fruits like pomelo, banana, breadfruit, mangosteen. Next, oil, sugar, spices and fiber plants like coconut palm, sugar cane, clove, nutmeg, black pepper, manila hemp. So these are some plants which originated in this Malayalam center, which comes under this Indian center of origin. Third center of origin is Central Asiatic center. It includes northwest India like Punjab, northwest frontier provinces and Kashmir, Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan. There are approximately 43 plants which are listed for this center, जो कि endemic है इस center के लिए. Then we have grains and legumes like common wheat, club wheat, short wheat, pea. Then we have lentil, horse bean, chickpea, mung bean, mustard, flax, sesame. So ये जो grains or legume plants हैं ये यहाँ पे originate हुए हैं. Next we have fiber plants like hemp and cotton which are also originated in this center, that is Central Asiatic center. Next is vegetables like onion, garlic, spinach, carrot. ये भी यहाँ पे originate हुए हैं. Next we have fruit, pistachia, pear, almond, grape, apple. They are also originated in this center of origin, that is Central Asiatic center. So this is the region which is the Central Asiatic region, जहाँ पे ये जो plants हैं, grain, legumes हैं, fiber plants हैं, vegetables हैं, fruit प्लांट्स हैं जो यहाँ पे ओरिजिनेट हुए हैं. दिस इज द सेंट्रल एशियाटिक सेंटर विच इंक्लूड्स नॉर्थ वेस्ट एशिया, नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया, अफगानिस्तान, तजिकिस्तान, उज्बेकिस्तान. Next is the fourth center of origin, that is Near Eastern Center, and it is present in this region. It includes interior of Asia, interior of Asian continent, minor, all of the Transcaucasia, Iran and highlands of Turkmenistan. So ये जो regions हैं इस area में, यहाँ पे ये center present है. There are 83 species including 9 species of wheat were located in this region. So 9 species wheat की यहाँ पे observe की गई हैं. Grains and legumes, it includes uncorn wheat, durum wheat, common wheat, oriental wheat. Then we have Persian wheat, turo, barley, rye, common oats, lentil, lupine. So these are some grains and legumes which are originated in this center of a region. Next we have forage plants. Like forage plants are the plants which are used as a fodder for domestic animals, like alfalfa, then Persian clover, fenugreek, vetch. So these are some forage plants which originated in this center of region. Next we have fruits like fig, pomegranate, apple, pear, quince, cherry, hawthorn. So these are some fruit plants which are originated in this region. Next we have Mediterranean center. So this is the Mediterranean center which is shown in this map. It includes borders of Mediterranean Sea, and 84 plants are listed in this region. It includes cereals and legumes like durum wheat, emmer wheat, Polish wheat, sand oats, pea, lupine. Next we have forage plants like Egyptian clover, white clover, crimson clover. Next, oil and fiber plants like flax, rapeseed, black mustard, olive. Next, vegetables like garden beer, cabbage, turnip, lettuce, asparagus, celery, chicory, parsnip, rhubarb. So these are some vegetable plants which originated in this center of region, that is Mediterranean center of region of cultivated plants. Then we have ethereal oils and spice plants which originated in this center of region, that is caraway, anise, thyme, then peppermint, sage, hop, etc. Next is the sixth center of origin, that is Abyssinian center. It is located in the African continent. It includes Abyssinia, Eritrea and part of Somaliland. So ये जो countries हैं इनके कुछ parts हैं जो इस center को बनाते हैं. There are 38 species which were reported in this center. And the grains and legumes like Abyssinian hard wheat, then pollard wheat, emmer wheat, Polish wheat, barley, then grain, sorghum, pearl millet, African millet, cowpea, flax. So these are some plants which originated in this center of region. Next, miscellaneous like sesame, castor bean, garden cress, coffee, okra, indigo. So ये जो plants हैं ये भी यहाँ पे originate हुए हैं in this center of region, that is Abyssinian center of region, which is located in African continent. Next is South Mexican and Central American center. So this is here. It includes southern section of Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras and Costa Rica. So ये जो countries हैं इनके कुछ एक regions हैं जो इस center को बनाते हैं. Grains and legumes जो यहाँ पे originate हुए हैं, that is maize, common bean, lima bean, grain, amaranth, etc. Next we have melon plants like Malabar gourd, winter pumpkin, chiote. So ये जो melon plants हैं ये यहाँ पे originate हुए हैं. Next we have fiber plants like upland cotton, bone cotton. So these are the fiber plants which originated in this center of region. Next we have miscellaneous plants like sweet potato, arrow, root pepper, papaya, guava, cashew, wild black cherry, tomato, cacao, Nicotiana rustica, that is tobacco की species है जो यहाँ पे originate हुए हैं. Next comes the last center of origin, that is South American center. It includes 3 subcenters, which are, the first one is the Peruvian, Ecuadorian, Bolivian center. It comprises mainly of the high mountainous areas, formerly the center of megalithic and pre-Inca civilization. इसमें जो tuber crops यहाँ पे originate हुई है like potato, Andean potato, edible nasturtium. Next grains and legumes जो यहाँ पे originate हुए हैं like starchy maize, lima bean, common bean. And vegetable crops include pepino, tomato, ground cherry, pumpkin, pepper. Next we have fiber plants like Egyptian cotton, which is originated in this center. Next fruit and miscellaneous plants. like passion flower, guava, quinine, tobacco plants, they also originated in this center of region. Next is this second subcenter of this South American center, that is Chiloé center, that is island near the coast of southern Chile. यहाँ पे जो plants originate हुए, that is common potato, wild strawberry. Then the third subcenter of this South American center of origin is Brazilian Paraguayan center. यहाँ पे जो plants originate हुए हैं, which include peanut, rubber tree, pineapple, Brazil nut, cashew nut. So ये जो plants हैं ये यहाँ पे originate हुए हैं इस third subcenter में, that is Brazilian Paraguayan center. So this is all about the VAVILOV center of origins. जो 8 centers हैं उसके बारे में डिस्कस किया. There are some typical plants जो कि originate हुए हैं in geographical regions में. Lastly, we have this slide which shows agriculture research institutes which are very important. First column include the research institute, second is headquarters, then third one major contribution. Firstly, we have IRRI. It stands for International Rice Research Institute. It is located in Laguna, Philippines, and its major contribution is in producing high yield rice variety like IR8, which is commonly known as miracle rice. Next, we have Central Rice Research Institute. It is located in Cuttack, Odisha, in India, and it has released approximately 100 high-yielding varieties of rice. Next, we have International Maize and Wheat Improvement Center located in Mexico, responsible for Green Revolution and producing high-yielding dwarf wheat varieties. So this is the contribution of this center. Next, we have Indian Institute of Wheat and Barley Research, that is IIWBR. It is located in Karnal in Haryana, and it has released many varieties like Sonalika, Kalyan Sona, Choti Larma, Safed Larma, HD2009. So these are some varieties of wheat and barley which are released by this institute, that is Indian Institute of Wheat and Barley Research. Next, we have Indian Institute of Maize Research, IIMR. It is located in Pusa campus in New Delhi, and it is responsible for producing high-yielding maize varieties. Next, we have International Potato Research Center, that is CIP. It is located in Lima, Peru, worked on potato tubers. Next, we have Central Potato Research Institute, CPRI. It is located in Bamloi in Shimla. So it is present in Himachal Pradesh, and its major contribution is in enhancement of potato production. Next, we have Indian Agriculture Research Institute, IARI. It is located in Pusa, New Delhi, responsible for producing high-yielding and stable genotypes of various crops. So this was all about for our today's discussion. Hope you will get some idea from this presentation. If you have any questions, queries, and any suggestions, you can give it in comment section. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.